Hi everyone, and welcome to the Movie Section Show. My name is Fariba, and this morning we just got the first trailer for an upcoming movie called The Crow, which is starring Bill Skarsgård as the titular character. Now, I'm going to address a little bit of this movie because it has been a bit controversial lately. Now, I will say for one thing, I have not seen the original version, the one that starred Brandon Lee. I am very familiar with the story is, as well as, the accent that happened behind the scenes. So I do know the details of the movie. I just have not had the chance to actually watch the movie itself, which, given the fact that we're about to get this remake, I probably will at some point this year. But given that, let's talk about the fact that just about a week or so ago, we had gotten the first look of Bill Skarsgård's look as the Crow, so the main character, and it's been quite controversial, of course, because the look itself is very different from Brandon Lee's version. It is a bit more on the Joker side than really being just goth, and even that was like the first thing that came up in my mind. I'm like, why does it scream Jared Leto Joker? So it's definitely been very decisive about, or it's definitely been very divided in terms of like people's opinions about it, especially those who have been fans of The Crow. Like, I believe it's based on the comic book novel. So, but yeah, I think I will say for one thing is that if there's one thing that will keep me interested in terms of this movie, it's going to be Bill Skarsgård, because he's a really phenomenal actor. I've seen a lot of his work. We've seen him from It, we've seen him from Barbarian, and I think that if there's at least one redeeming factor, or maybe if there is one potential to redeeming factor, it's going to be Bill Skarsgård. So with that, I do want to check out this trailer. So without further ado, let's get right down into watching the Crow trailer.
What's the first thing you liked about me?
I feel that you're quite brilliantly broken.
You feel like my person?
You feel like my person.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
I saw things. I shouldn't have seen any of it.
Julie! Julie! Please don't do this!
When someone dies, a crow carries their soul to the land of the dead. But sometimes something so bad happens that the soul cannot rest. Until you put the wrong things right. You were given the power of a god.
But you're running out of time to save her.
I'm gonna kill them. Every single one of them.
I killed you.
Yeah, you did.
We have a problem. He came for us.
First impulse, anger. It's not anger. It's love.
Look at what you've become. You know that love promises only pain. You have no idea what hell awaits you.
No, I do.
How many people have you loved?
I'll never be alone.
that was the Crow trailer right there. It's the first look of seeing Bill Skarsgård as the titular character here. And it's really weird because I want this movie to at least be good at some point, or at least have some redeeming factors to it, despite some of the things that, you know, we've seen with the first look. Here's what I'll say honestly, like, yes, this is super bloody. This is a very bloody trailer. They're really upping up the blood level in this movie. I have not seen the first one, so I can't really compare in terms of how the violence itself is. There was one that I was like, it really did kind of, you know, that I really did raise my eyebrows. I was like, okay, that seems pretty interesting. So it does seem as though like the action sequences are going to be pretty good sequences. That they're going to be very well coordinated. So that's at least one thing that I'm kind of looking at in my head. This is really interesting for me, that maybe I'll give this movie a try for sure. But I will also say that I'm not completely sold on this film, having seen the first trailer. I mean, I will say for one thing, it is very distracting seeing a Jared Leto Joker look of Bill Skarsgård's The Crow. I think that is a bit of a distraction, and I feel like there isn't really much of a connection between the look that we see here and just his character's persona and just, you know, his revenge story that's about to happen later on the film. Of course, like, we see a bit more, like, I will say this, like, it's great to see a little bit of that exposition from the beginning. So we, like, for someone like me who has not, you know, who's not too familiar with the actual comic, I believe it's the comic and the actual original movie, that, you know, I get a bit of a better idea of like how this all ensued. And again, I'm pretty aware of the whole situation with, you know, the revenge being that he is avenging his fiance, but beyond that, it's going to be just a matter of how do we see this character and how he moves forward and how does he undergo his revenge quest. So yeah, I will say for one thing, like, again, I from the looks of it, Bill does really, you know, put his efforts into portraying his character, and I feel like I just need a little bit more of that footage to, you know, just to see kind of his portrayal of the Crow, so his, you know, his character. I'm just not completely sold yet, just because it is already distracting just seeing a Jared Leto Joker version of this aesthetic of this character, and I think that's kind of where I'm just like, okay, I just need a little bit more, because it just seems like any sort of like bloody revenge sort of tale, which is like completely fine by me, but I would just like it a little bit more. That's just how I feel. I know maybe some other people will actually appreciate the level of violence. I will say it is a super violent, very bloody trailer that we get out of this, and it seems as though that, you know, the direction is exactly what they wanted, just to give a bit more of, like, just to up the scales of that violence, which is totally fine by me. But I think for me, it's like, just because you have a movie that's far more violent, far more bloody, it doesn't necessarily mean that it would always turn into a good movie. And so I do hope that a lot of what we see with this movie will at least kind of be redeemed based on like the storytelling as well as the performance. Like, that's going to be key to the movie's success, especially for those like me who have not seen the original, right? Like, is this going to be enough to interest us? I mean, I will see it regardless, but it's a matter of, will this be enough for casual viewers who, you know, who may see any potential out of this movie? And right now, I'm just kind of like, I'll watch it, but I'm just not completely sold at the moment. But that's just how I feel about this trailer. Let me know your thoughts. Having now seen it, we finally got the first footage of The Crow. We've been hearing so much about it. We've got the controversy. We've had some people really, you know, giving their opinions about the look of this version of The Crow. But let me know what your thoughts are, having now seen this first trailer. For me, I'm not too keen on it, but maybe you feel differently. If you actually did like this trailer and think that this actually makes up for a lot of the, just the fact that we saw the first images. What are your thoughts about that? Why do you think this is actually far better now that you've seen the trailer? Now that you've seen the first trailer. If not, if you are still skeptical, why so? Do you have any other comments having now seen the first footage? Are you looking forward to seeing this movie, or do you still need more footage, more trailers to kind of be sold on this, or do you think that it's just not going to happen? Let me know your thoughts below and make sure to like and subscribe.